Nice. Okay, guys. So, this is episode 2 of the podcast. I'm sorry for the background. This is actually no.
Here,
This
I'll
is
mute
this.
myself while you do the intro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hi, guys. So this is episode 2 of the podcast here with Diego, and you read the title. It's we need to talk about America. Now, uh, this is I know we do jokes, and I know we would like we do jokes all the time, and I'm gonna try to not to laugh in like this whole conversation, but this is like a serious thing, and for any viewers that don't live in America, like I understand that you guys don't see it as a serious thing, or if you guys do see it as a serious thing, you guys can't feel the same way that we feel, because it's scary. It genuinely is scary. For those viewers that don't know, just a couple hours ago, a mass shooting happened in Ohio, and just yesterday, a mass shooting happened in El Paso, Texas, and just a week ago, another mass shooting happened. Um, so it's getting very frequent, and it's starting to become a norm. So let's get to it. Let's get to it.
Alright, so here's the thing about mass shootings. Unfortunately, they're becoming way too frequent for comfort.
Yeah.
And like he said, one happened a couple hours ago, another one happened yesterday, and another one happened a week ago. And there's a pattern there. They're happening more and more frequent.
Yeah.
And and like before we started this, I was like having a conversation with my girlfriend about this, and she was really saddened and annoyed that this is becoming a norm in America. The she even looked up numbers on homicides in countries. America's at
Uh,
number one with
yeah.
114,
Yeah.
and Canada is in second place with a zero point 0.5 homicide rate.
Yeah, I just saw this post on social media of this statistics that came in of 20 of I think it's 2019 or 2018, but uh we have about 215 mass shootings in America, counting and
Counting,
and
unfortunately.
counting, unfortunately, and the yeah, we're the most leading mass shooting country, and the other countries have either one, the maximum
No,
is three.
Canada's in second place is at on zero point 0.5.
Yeah, so we're we're really doing numbers. We're really it's
And then the worst part, these American patriots are like, oh yeah, we're number one in everything. And then there's dumb people who are like, oh, we need gun control. Like, that's partially true. That's partially true. We do need to make weapons
to
harder
get.
to get a hold of.
Yeah.
But that's not the answer. We need to focus on we need to focus on mental
Why?
health.
Yeah, yeah,
Do
we
you have
do.
any
Yes.
do you have any idea how difficult it is for somebody to get a therapist nowadays?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
There's
And
people
and
who have asked, "Hey, can I get a therapist?" And not only is there not enough therapists, but the people who do know how to get therapists don't tend to help you because like since they're not the ones getting paid, they're like, "Oh, no, I'm sorry."
and
And that's
it's
another thing.
a lot of people are scared of like getting therapy because they feel like they're gonna get taken
They're
away from their
weak.
families.
Yeah.
They're weak, or get
Yeah.
taken away from their families for talking about normal issues that happens. So so
And a big pro and what caused that problem is technically Hollywood and movies. because you see a mental hospital in a movie and it's like crazy people banging their heads against walls and like people in straitjackets, people laughing and screaming. Have you ever visited a real,
Yeah,
have
it's
you
not like
ever
that. It's not like
actually
that at
taken the
all.
time to visit it, to
Yeah,
visit
it's
a
not like
mental
that at all.
hospital? I've had a family member who's been to a mental hospital. He told me everything's chill. People just sit around, doing arts and crafts. Obviously, yes, there's the
There,
dangerous people.
yeah,
There's people who aren't allowed to have knives, but that's for a reason because it's not that, oh, they're gonna stab anybody they see. No, it's because they self-harm. That's the
exactly.
thing. They're not allowed to have anything sharp, and
Yeah,
because they self-harm.
and
And
a little. Well, yeah, go. Continue.
and like you should take the time to take a look at it yourself. You should
Yeah,
go seek for help. You should go seek out help, and it's
yeah.
not a
Don't be
bad
afraid.
thing.
Don't be afraid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't be afraid.
The another like information that I don't know if people know, but if people do know. So the two, or I think one of them, the El Paso shooter, was targeting Latinos,
Yeah,
and he was uh, he was openly he was openly like against Latinos
Latinos.
with his he had like an opening statement or like something like that that's like that before the shooting he posted stuff saying that like Latinos are invasive and like are coming into to Texas and like taking all that stuff and like the dumb shit. And my question is, do you think Trump is to blame?
Okay, okay. Hold up a second. That's a little too controversial. I'm not gonna answer your question, but what I'm gonna say is that I agree partially with what your statement. Okay, your statement said that the shooter a couple hours ago went into
The
El
El Paso
Paso.
one, not the the El Paso one, which
No,
was
oh
yesterday.
my bad. The one in El
Yesterday,
Paso
yesterday. Yeah,
said, yeah, said that he went there to directly attack Latinos
yeah. He was targeting
and
Latinos. Yeah.
that he was targeting Latinos. And then here's the thing though. Even after that evidence, even after all that, there's plenty of videos. There's this one specific video that helped a lot, but that he said he was targeting Latinos. And then we have this ridiculous statement by a politician. I don't know his name, unfortunately, but he was blaming video games. He's blaming video games for this. And after that statement, I he like tweeted it. After that statement, I saw in the comments, people were saying like, if it's a white person, he's a troubled young man who plays too much video games or something other to then to blame him directly and his mental
Yeah.
health. If it was a color of person, they're a terrorist.
Yep.
I mean, if it was a person of color, then they're a terrorist. If it's a white young male, they're a troubled youngster who's just looking for attention. And
That's bullshit. I'm sorry,
that
but
is
that
incredible bullshit.
that's like
That is incredible bullshit.
come on, like I don't get it why like the news and the media like fucking literally gets everything except the problem, the actual problem that we have, which is gun control, guns, guns. We like why literally blame
And
everything
then
else, huh? Except
and
the
then we
actual
have
problem.
and then we have Americans saying like, "Oh, if we have a problem, we pick up our guns and go shoot some people." That's literally just adding to the problem.
It's like
That's legit.
it's fucking I don't know,
That's
dude.
legit. That's all that does is add to the problem. All that
Eh,
does is if
yeah,
anybody if anybody's ever heard this, violence causes more violence.
obviously, yes, of course.
Yes,
And I
but
hear
a lot of people don't know that.
or
which
or
is
like fucking
ridiculous.
ignore it and just be like, oh,
Ignore it, become ignorant to it.
and I'm like, dude, like when it
And
gets to people's
unfortunately,
lives, it's like,
yeah. And another thing my girlfriend said is that she told me, "Oh, you need to be careful where you go." And I'm like, it doesn't matter where you're careful, whether you're careful or not. It's not just about being careful. You know, I could be like, "Oh, I'm not gonna go here today because I have a feeling there's gonna be a shooting there today," and then nothing happens. And then I go somewhere the next day because I couldn't get the stuff I wanted that same day, which would be yesterday. And then what am I gonna do if there's a shooting out of nowhere? Like,
yeah, and then that's the thing, like,
unfortunately, there was a
uh-huh.
mother who went who a couple hours ago who wanted to go into that store to buy supplies
For
for her
school, back to
children.
school, yeah, back to school.
Who, yeah, for back to school. She had no idea that was gonna happen, and her children are now alone. You know, they might have a dad, but
Yeah,
the
that
difference is that the dads usually are always working and they can't really be there for their kids.
that pisses me off because it's like all the lives. I wanna, for some reason I wanna talk to like the shooters. Like I want to know what's going through their minds and like why they do the things why they did the things that they do or they did.
An
It's like,
interview with shooters.
yeah, and that, like, I would fucking love that because it's like what gets in a person's mind to like, oh yeah, I want to shoot up a mall today. Like, yeah, I want to just bring harm and fear to people today. It's like, why? I don't understand. I don't. I genuinely, and then that's what I say. Like coming back to like does the hate,
I,
the openly racism and the openly hate that Trump has given in the whole like political scene in America has given towards minorities, towards every race, Muslim, does that have a like kind of a blame to everything that's happening right now? I think, I honestly, I know this
and
is gonna be controversial because there's a lot of, there's like two sides to everything, but it's like, I think, yeah, I think it is. I think that a lot of people are like, oh well, our president hates this group, I hate this group. Well, why don't I just do something about it? Like, I'm like, I don't know, man.
why though?
That's the thing. Like for example, the shooter from El Paso, he was like, "Oh, uh, Latinos are taking our country because the Texas El Paso is like the border to Mexico. It's like really close. So that was his like whole excuse, I guess, which is very idiotic, very stupid. And I have a question. I have another question. So I saw, and I want to see your input in this because I know you'd probably have like a good input in this. So I saw a post of a lot of people, and this is a controversial topic. Warning, a controversial topic. Uh, they think that, or a lot of people genuinely believe that what would solve this issue is for everybody to have a gun. Yeah, yeah, no, seriously.
No, I
Seriously.
know, I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly
Yeah.
what you're talking about. I'm sorry for laughing, but
No, yeah. And I understand why you would laugh. You get me? It's like,
that's that's exactly what I'm talking about. The ignorant people. I'm not, and it's ignorant patriotism. It's like, oh, we're American. We all need guns. Yes, I know there's a law that says the right
yeah,
to bear arms,
we're
but
aware of
that
that.
was
We're big
that was
aware of that one.
back in 1776, if I'm correct.
Where
Um,
it was like there
and
was no fucking
and
RPGs
and
and rifles and shit.
and there was a reason for that. there was a big reason why there was a right to bear arms, because the whole British trying to take over the people who escaped Britain, and then there's ignorant people who don't know that their ancestors are from Britain. They don't know their ancestors are from Europe.
Yeah,
They're like,
and other
oh
places.
no, yeah.
No,
And then there's people
we're
who do know.
American.
No,
American.
we're born American. We speak America. Don't speak Mexican. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah. It's dumb.
They're
It,
just ignorant people. And then the idea that more guns, the idea that we need to bring more guns into the problem of guns is just yikes.
I don't know.
We don't need that. We don't need more weapons. We really don't.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, oh, we need to make guns illegal. I'm
No.
saying we need to, like, I'm saying we need to, like, relax on what guns should be allowed to be bought. There's people walking around with AK-47s, but here's the thing though. People who walk around with AK-47s, like, I don't like it, but technically they're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah, and that's the sad thing. That's literally the very depressing thing. That's like,
That's that's
oh,
the that's the thing though. And then you got people buying, but you also do have people buying rifles just for the purpose of shooting up places.
yeah. And that's the thing that goes back
And
to
then
like
here's another
mental
thing.
health because it's like
Yeah,
people that buy like a lot of people that are like mass shooters or in history have literally no background of like any tendency or anything like that, but has had like counseling or stuff that like, oh, they're completely normal, like they're fine, nothing's
that
happening.
too. When they do background checks, they don't check your mental health.
Yeah, they
They
only
check
check if
your
you have a
criminal
crime.
history.
Yeah.
They check your criminal history. They only do like they only skim the very surface of mental health.
Yeah, they don't really. Yeah, it's.
They only skim the very surface of your mental health.
I don't know. Honestly, as I'm scared, dude. Like genuinely, like, is there gonna get a point? Is there gonna be a point in America where everybody's going to be scared of going outside? Like, I in El Paso right now, like they interviewed a native in El Paso, and the night after, which was yeah, the night after, which was Saturday night, last night, literally no one was out. Like restaurants that are usually open at night, that are usually packed, were closed, literally closed, because nobody wanted to go out. Everybody was terrified, and
And
it's like,
now they're blaming and another thing, like, I'm going back to the whole thing, they're blaming video games. Why there was a politician back in 19 back in 2013, I want to say, around there. And if you've played GTA and all that, um you might be aware that there's a politician who's actively trying to get a Rockstar to stop making GTA. He's saying like, "Oh, it's too violent. We need to stop that. We need to stop all this." But and then a video game came out called Bully. Have you
ah,
ever heard of
yeah,
Bully,
bully.
Ruben?
Yes, bully.
Have you ever heard of Bully?
Yeah.
And if you don't know what Bully is a video game where you play as uh,
Yeah, like
a young
teenage.
man, a
Yeah.
teenage boy in boarding school, dealing with adults, dealing with other bullies.
Yeah.
But the way he goes about it is, pulling pranks on adults and beating up those bullies. And then the same politician made the remark that Bully is a Columbine simulator.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. He
So
went
that
that
so
far.
I'm not joking. That's a direct quote. He said that this video game Bully is a Columbine simulator made to teach the younger audience how to do it.
What?
Now, you might be saying, what kind of dumb shit is that? You're incredibly right.
It,
I really don't know. I honestly don't
what do you
know.
think? But what do you think they get out of this? Like, for example, like let's say those politicians succeed. Let's say in an alternative universe, those politicians actually make it that
Video
that
games
video games just
are
like
illegal, or
are
at least
illegal.
video games to have no guns in them,
No guns and no anything like censorship like they do in I think I don't know what country, but they do that in I
or
think
the
China.
gore.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
the no, I know they do gore in Australia and India, I want to say. In China, they do anything with politics, mostly anything with politics, anything that involves like the Chinese government. And then you have Europe, um, bad words in Europe,
No, yeah, bad
uh,
words.
bad words
Yeah,
in Europe. Um,
bad
and then what
words in
else?
Europe.
Like that's the thing though. What is it? What is this big thing with censorship?
Well,
What
that's the thing. It's like they censor things. That's the funny part. They censor things to prevent things like mass shootings and stuff like that to like influence the children. Yet it happens. So it's
yet
like
it happens. It
what
happens
are we
anyway.
who are we joking? Like who are we fooling here? Like
In that case, and then they censor all these games, and then they're like, "Oh, it must have been video games," you know?
I don't know. Yeah.
And
It
then we have all this like, why? Why blame video games? I'm not saying. And then like there was a shooting in a video game competition, if anybody knows about that. And they're like, oh, this is it. This is the thing that's gonna get video games banned. They were saying that they were playing some super violent video game, and then the police did an investigation, and they were playing Madden 2017 or 2018. They were playing a Madden, a football game, and this kid lost, so he got mad, left, and came back with a gun to shoot it up.
jeez.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
Where's your violent video game now?
Yeah. Yeah, it goes back. It boils down to mental health and gun control. Like genuinely, those both things are just fucked. And it's like, I don't know, dude. Like it's tough because it's like we have a tough situation here in America, like that serious topic, and but the thing is, it's like, in one side there's people that want to do something but can't, and in the other side there's people that don't want to do anything because they want to protect their rights. So it's like, if you're really, and I want to ask those people, like I want to ask those people that are patriots that are like, oh, our rights to bear arms. So if you're such a patriot, if you're such a like freaking balls deep in America, like why don't you care when people in America die? Like what? Because they're not white? Because they're not white, that means that you shouldn't care? But what if like school shootings and stuff and like mass shootings happens and white people die? White people
That's
get
the thing.
shoot.
No,
Then
white
is it
people
a
always
problem?
in schools, it's always the white people who do it. Well, a
Yeah,
majority.
yeah, majority. Yeah, we're not saying like we hate white people. Like no,
I'm not saying that
we're not
I hate
saying
white
that. We're
people.
not we're not saying that at all. We're not saying that at all. But but in the news, like I don't know if there's been and I don't know if I'm being ignorant right now, but I don't know if there's been a mass shooting that like of a person like that isn't white. You get me? Like I think all the mass shooters have been Caucasian race. Or at,
Well, I mean, I'll look into that, but
yeah, look into that. But we're not. I'm not. But like the majority of them, I'll say the majority of them. But it's like I don't know. It's like I don't know, man. It's scary. It's scary to say nevertheless. I just hope that it gets better. Like I know it's like me
yeah.
saying like, oh like wow you're just saying that but you're not doing anything. That's the thing here in America. That's the thing like us Americans like oh free speech, free country, shit like that. It's all bullshit, guys. Like we can't really do much about anything. It's like it's all decisive and like only big politicians can really do stuff and then they give us this like cheese and we're rats and they give us this like fake news that's like oh vote and stuff like that and voting does do something but it like
Like we
it
said in the last video,
in the
there
last
like
podcast
3,000 people woke up,
that and
went to
that's
the
the
voting booth,
shitty thing
and voted for Harambe.
that's the shitty thing it's like okay we have a voice we have a quote unquote voice what do we do with it we vote for dumb shit and then when
This is
we
why we can't have nice
This is
things.
this is that's literally the quote. This is why we can't have nice things. Like
This is why we can't have nice things.
I don't know, man. It's depressing. I'll pull up some like some recent news of El Paso and all that stuff that's happening.
They're gonna start being a fear that of going outside to malls and to places because people are going to be like, oh, I don't know if there's going to be a shooting today. And that's the depressing part. Are we really going to have to get to the point where we have to think if there's going to be a shooting today or tomorrow?
Yeah, we're gonna get to a point that's like, do I want to go to the mall? Am
Do I
I
want to risk my
do
life
I
like
want
that?
to risk my life? Like, is it, what is going to happen today? Like,
Is it going to be like World War One, where any other place other than the trenches is no man's land? Where if you step out for a minute, you have you have the chance of getting shot? Is
yeah,
that really what you people want? Well, maybe not the people listening to this, but the people who fuck it up for the rest of us.
they do, and they fuck it up for the right. They're terrorists. They're literal terrorists. Like they make people
Yes.
they make people fear America. They make people fear everything to go outside. They don't make them feel safe. And here's an update of the Ohio shooting, which happened a couple of hours ago. Um, so at least 9 people are dead after the yeah after the a shooting in the Oregon district of Dayton, Ohio. Um, at least 27 people are injured. Whoa! And wow, what a fucking pussy, dude. So
What?
the person that So the subject, the person that was shooting, the subject, the deputy police department said the suspect in the shooting is also dead.
So he did what the shooters of Columbine did then.
Basically, he shot up the place and then he's also dead. I don't know if it was because of the police or he did it himself. But if he did it himself, that's gonna piss me off a lot more.
Mm,
Because that's like such a fucking. That's like, oh, I'm gonna kill a shitload of people and then I'm just gonna kill myself. It's like a easy erase. That's like, that's not how that works. That's not how that works. Wow. Okay, so second deadly incident. The shooting in Dayton comes hours after a separate shooting claimed the lives of 20 people in El Paso. So it was 20 people who died in El Paso, and it was 9 people that died that are victims of Ohio. So so 29 people have died in the last 24 hours because of a mass shooting, and 27 injured, and no results of how many are injured of the El Paso shooting. Um, yeah, yeah, it's very tragic. My condolences, or our condolences to the victims of
to the victim's family.
to the victims' families and everybody who has any connections with the victims of mass shootings. Um, we need to do better. It, we need to do better as a country, as people. There something needs to happen. Change needs to happen.
Something does need to happen.
And 9 people. So 9 people are confirmed, are confirmed dead. But it's live, so it can grow. In the Ohio incident that happened a couple of hours ago, and this fucking asshole. So well, you know what Trump said?
Oh no. What did he say now?
So Trump tweeted, so I want to read it quote unquote because I don't want to give any misinformation. So I'm sorry if
Read it
I'm
out loud.
giving a
Read
little
what
time.
Trump said. To be very clear with everybody, this is what Trump said.
So Trump's administration worked on the issue, saying that. So this is what Trump's administration said in Trump basically. He said, "We've done actually a lot, but perhaps more has to be done."
Oh,
Trump also said,
perhaps, just
and then
maybe
wait, it gets
something.
better. It gets better. It gets better.
It gets
It
better,
gets
he
better.
says.
He
Oh
realizes.
boy.
Look, he starts realizing. He starts getting woke. My guy Trump starts getting woke. He says, Trump also says this is a mental illness problem.
Yes. Okay, finally.
So
Although it does make me angry.
he's
It does make me
finally
angry. It took this long for him to realize something like that. But but at least it happened.
the police. Oh my gosh, dude, the police. So of the shooter of Ohio, they've took pictures of the gun, the firearm that was used, and can you believe this shit?
What was the firearm? What was the firearm?
100 round. It was a assault rifle And it was
Okay.
a 100 round drum magazine.
Fucking
Why is that legal? Why is that legal to have? Why is that legal to purchase? 100 round drum.
well, yeah, that is definitely illegal to purchase.
But
I've seen a
why
video of
though?
a man
Exactly.
who bought a fully automatic pistol with a 100 round mag. But here's the thing. It was a 100 round mag custom built for the pistol, and it gets better and it gets better. The company that built the 100 round mag isn't required by federal law to need to need not a license to need to check background because it doesn't sell the weapons. It only sells the attachments.
Gun was ordered online. The gun was ordered online.
Probably the deep web then.
No, no,
It
no. I don't
probably
think it was. The weapon used in the shooting was ordered online from Texas. The transferred to the suspects at the location firearm dealer near. So it was a dealer. It was a dealer that he bought it from online.
so it wasn't legal, but it wasn't the dark web either.
No,
I'm guessing. Was it?
it wasn't the dark web. They don't say it like affirmative that it was the dark web, so I'm just assuming it
No, I
wasn't.
doubt they're gonna say it was the dark web, but and then,
It.
but I mean, at this, if it was the dark web at this point, we really can't blame the authorities because the dark web is the dark web for a reason. They're made, those people there are hard to track on purpose.
Exactly, but like, what's the benefit of that? You get me? Like, what's the benefit of like having buying something from the dark web and like it's illegal, but like it's illegal for a
No,
reason. Like, why do people do that shit in the dark web? If like I,
because they don't get caught. Look,
it's the dumbest
there's
thing, dude.
there's 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 a lot of it that there's a lot that goes into this, Ruben, and as no, I'm not gonna finish that statement, but as somebody who's done research, yeah, let's go with that. As somebody who's done research on the deep web and stuff like that, there really isn't much that the US government or anybody can really do, in fact. There's literally stores to buy human parts for consumption.
Yeah, yeah.
And
The
on the
dark.
plus side,
Uh-huh.
the dark web is a really nasty place, and sadly a lot of things happens, I know we're talking about like shootings and stuff, but a lot of stuff happens in the world, human trafficking, fucking child pornography, fucking, cannibalism, weapons of mass destructions are being sold on there, fucking nukes, the pieces to make a nuke, pieces to make bioweapons, pieces. Dark web isn't a nice place, and there isn't really much that anybody can do about it. Not the white hats, not the gray hats, not the black hats. As for those of you who don't know that, that's lingo for black hats are bad hackers, white hats are good hackers, gray hats are people who do both sides, and there's nothing that the government or any government can do about that. And the even sadder part, there's government officials who use the black web to do their stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you have
We
to
don't know.
fight
Yeah,
something with something.
if we don't know if the Hillary Clinton email things is real or not. She could have done it, but maybe she didn't. And
Maybe it
I know
was a
people forgot
whole.
about this already. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe it was the dark web, but like I said, we won't know. We will never know because the dark web is the dark web for a reason. Stuff
and
on
and
there
and
is hard to track for a reason.
but nothing is more hypocritical than what Trump said as well.
Yes.
He says this. He says hate has no place in our country. I'll leave it at that. I'll literally I'll just put that there. He said Trump, Donald Trump, Donald J. Trump, the our quote unquote president who has openly been racist to minorities has said,
Sexist. He's been
sexist,
racist, sexist, and a bit of pedophilia.
has quote, I quote, there is no place for hate in this country. Okay. This is a good time to a little PSA, a little service announcement. Please vote. please please
Not for us. Not for us,
no.
but for yourself. At this
Yeah.
point, it's not for anybody but yourself.
It's for yeah. It's not even for us. It's just please vote. Um I listen, if you're Republican, Democrat, I don't care. But this president has to go.
He really does.
He can't
And then we
win.
have these other candidates. We have Joe Biden.
We already talked about him in the last podcast.
We already talked
I'm
about
not
him.
I'm not gonna get into him
And then we
anymore.
have Bernie Sanders. But
Bernie Sanders is cool.
Bernie Sanders is cool, but
I know that's
you
like I know people
know,
are gonna call me out in the comment section or are gonna call me out like later in the future, like,
that's being
oh,
biased.
you're being biased. You're wow. You're a social. You're a liberal scum, liberal. But like
Here's the
Bernie,
thing about that. Here's the thing about the whole political parties. Who the fuck cares? Like,
yeah,
why the hell do we all gotta be so toxic to one another? What? There was, oh my God. I saw this post. Let me see if I can find it
yeah,
on Reddit.
pull it up.
On Reddit. And if you never use Reddit, trust me, it's a lot better than Instagram and Twitter. Oof.
It gets weird. Reddit gets too real sometimes. It gets
Reddit
scary.
does get too real.
It gets scary.
Reddit does get too real. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Somebody made a post that about where was it? They said something like it's sad today's shooting was sad, but the sadder part is that we need to use the word today's. And then somebody posted like something
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
"Oh, it's all the Democrat Party's fault." And I'm just like,
How?
"What?
How can
How?"
you blame literally a whole party except what actually is the issue? Like that makes zero sense to me.
Exactly.
I don't I don't understand. I don't understand people. Like I I'm genuinely speechless, dude. Like holy shit. No, like seriously, like
No, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Like Reddit, Reddit has that's where I get my news from. People make memes, people would do that, but like the sad part is that people literally are getting their news from memes because
oh
there's people who
yeah.
don't know something and then people make memes. I had no idea about the Area 51 raid until I started seeing memes and then I started looking deeper into it. And the Area 51 raid is a real thing. And
Oh
it's
no, yeah, I know. There's a
and
whole like
it's
people, there's a whole following of like people actually gonna go, you know? And
and
that's
it's
the
not good.
but that's the dumb
It's
thing. That's like and that concerns me. That gives into a little bit of conspiracy that's like, oh, people are joking and meme like of like, oh, Area 51 and this and we're gonna go. But meanwhile in the background there's mass shootings happening. Meanwhile in the background there's political stuff happening that's very scummy like like there are kids still in cages in the borders like there's still some scummy stuff happening in the background, but we're being very distracted from stupid shit like people trying to go to Area 51. I don't know. I'm just sipping my tea here. But we speak the truth and we speak our minds in this podcast and that's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm feeling. Any any input in that?
what we really need to do, like, I know this is whole, I know this is all like, oh, he's being fucking,
Ooh,
fucking
liberal.
1970s, but we really, all of us, really need to come together.
Yeah. Oh
Like,
man.
like
Yeah.
I know we really
Especially
all
right
need to
now.
come together. There's people who
Especially.
hate on other people just for the sake of doing it.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of doing it.
And sometimes it's just for the sake of like a fucking meme or like a fucking like stuff, but it's like it 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 gets horrible. It gets bad. There's a difference of like a joke and then a difference of like a hate crime. You get me? And then that go no seriously. I like
No, you're right. You're right.
it's like dude like people some people take it too far, some people take it too fucking literal, or some people like it gets really fucked up, and it blurs the lines of like comedy. That's why a lot of comedians these days, it's like it's hard to be a comedian these days because it's like
Here's
what's
the
a
part that
joke,
people don't realize.
what's a
Here's the people
joke,
that
what
part don't
isn't.
realize. The reason here's the part that people don't realize, and I'm a very strong believer in this. I know Ruben and I make a lot of like uh uh
Yeah, you can find it, you
well,
can find
I
it in
mean
like YouTube
off
or like somewhere.
like off camera, Ruben and I make a lot of
We
like
make a lot of jokes,
a lot
edgy
of
jokes.
jokes that edgy jokes, yeah,
Yeah, we make a lot,
that
let's
would
just
be
name it edgy
offensive to a lot
jokes.
of people.
Oh yeah.
But the thing about that that people don't realize is the reason that jokes like that exist, the reason that people make jokes of situations like that, is to bring ease to
Yeah,
the
they
to bring ease to themselves, to bring ease to the situation, to make themselves feel better. Jokes don't exist to make you just to be funny. Jokes exist to bring a
to
situation into the light and to bring light to the situation. So let's see. Jokes aren't here to make you feel better. So a comedian makes an offensive joke and nobody likes it, then he's gonna get a ton of shit, right?
yeah, probably canceled, you know,
Probably canceled.
because our cancel culture. Oh my gosh, I'm not even okay. That could be the topic for the next podcast, but we'll right now that's
Like
another topic by itself.
like uh like let's see, what's a good example? Mm, okay. If somebody makes a racist joke, that doesn't make them racist, does it? If
Uh,
somebody makes a well,
I don't know.
depends on the context. Depends on the
Depends on the
context. But
context.
if a comedian who's not racist, who hasn't been openly racist, who actually, hold up,
That gets in the gray line. That gets in like the
it's a gray line. It's a
controversial
gray line. No,
line.
it's a gray line. I agree. But if a comedian who makes jokes, never gotten into any controversy about being racist, never gotten into any like stuff. If he makes a like I would say a black joke,
Okay.
people can and will get offended. But
Yeah.
then there's this other part where why are different ethnicities getting offended for that ethnicity, right?
Oh, yeah, okay, I get you. I get
Why
your claim.
why are different ethnicities being offended in place for that other ethnicity?
Yeah, they get yeah.
Why does that need to happen? Like like I've been in a situation where I'm Latino, if that hasn't been made clear,
Yeah.
and I've been in a situation where somebody made a Latino joke, and then a f- and then a friend of mine is like, "Hey, you can't say that. He's Latino." And I'm like, "So it's funny. I don't care."
Yeah.
Like,
It
there's there's really no need for you to get offended for the other uh, ethnicity group. There's no reason for that. Like I
yeah.
said, violence brings on more violence. Hate brings more hate.
Like the
If
whole
somebody makes a joke just for the sake of saying it
like the
and not,
whole
yeah,
and I know we're bringing back some like old news, but remember, do you guys remember back in I think 2017 or 2018 where PewDiePie made the the Jewish joke, the Jews joke, and that was that whole controversy. And Ethan Klein from H3H3, uh, he's a Jewish man, a beautiful, voluptuous Jewish man, uh, openly came out and said that he wasn't offended. He wasn't offended, him being a Jewish man, and 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 he basically said what you said right now. That's like, why are people getting offended for
Yeah,
me?
why are you getting offended in his place?
For me, yeah. So,
Ever heard of the Game Grumps? The Game Grumps make
oh,
tons of jokes.
oh
The
yeah,
Game Grumps make tons of
Game
jokes. They've
Grumps,
made racist jokes. They've made
oh
racist jokes.
yeah,
And, you know, but they're always they're always smart about it. They're like, just a disclaimer, we have a friend of this ethnicity, you know.
yeah. Like literally, Aaron is well, Dan from Game
Dan
Grumps
is Jewish.
is
Dan is
Jewish.
Jewish.
Disclaimer,
He is Jewish.
and he and Aaron, which is his co-host, uh, is isn't Jewish, but he makes openly Jewish like jokes.
Here's a really bad joke that Aaron
Wait,
Hansen
is
from the
it
Game Grumps has
okay?
made. He said, "What's the difference between a pot of dead babies and a convertible?" And then Dan's like, "What?" And he's like, "I don't have a convertible in my garage." And then
So bad. That's so bad. That's so
right,
dumb.
right?
So stupid.
But they always make jokes like that, and they're known for making jokes like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and then for them it's okay because like it's it's all in I feel like it's all in context and it's all in the way that you say it, like the tone of the way that you say it.
Yeah,
Because it's like
yeah.
somebody can say, and that's like a psychology term. I'm sorry. We're in summer vacation right now still, and
I don't
I
care.
haven't. What do you mean?
No, like I don't care if it's something that has to do if it's like learning stuff. You of all people should know I love to learn stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. No, no, no. As in, no. I'm saying like I forgot the term because we're in summer vacation and I can't be bothered to remember
oh,
terms right now. Yeah, that's what I meant. Not of like no, no. We learn. We always learn in this in podcast. We always learn. Uh, oh my god, this dog took two of my bones. Anyways, it's that whole thing of like it doesn't matter what you say. It matters how you say it. It always just boils down to that. And it's like there are some things that you can say that are very very offensive. No, there's some they're not like you can't say things that are very offensive, but there are some things that people say that are very offensive, but nobody really cares because the way that they say it or the person that they're saying it to, which is like the person that they look up to. If a person that you look up to says something that's very controversial, obviously you're gonna defend them because you look up to
mhm.
them. And that's I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah.
And then that's another thing. If somebody you love says something controversial and he's getting all this hate, there's really should be no reason you go to that person and start witch hunting all the people who are saying stuff to your favorite person.
Oh
That's
yeah.
literally the dumbest thing that you can do. They can defend themselves.
Yeah. Oh my God, definitely, yeah. Because like there is a
And you
shit
just
ton of
doing
people.
that brings a worse name to your
Oh my
favorite
gosh.
like celebrity,
For example,
because
like people that were defending Logan Paul of his controversy, and it's like,
people that were defending Logan Paul, oof. But what makes him worse is his community.
oh yeah, his whole like Logan Paulers and
And then like people started hating on him and his community. The same thing with Jake Paul. People started hating Jake Paulers for a reason, because y'all try to defend him for something dumb that he did. Logan Paul fucking recorded a dead body. What?
But
That's
he's
not okay.
but he was joking.
But he was
But
joking.
he's a good guy. I promise. He's a good guy. He's donated so much to charity.
Uh,
I hate freaking I hate the fact
and then there's
that
his dad, who's a pedophile, if I remember correctly.
is allegedly.
Allegedly. But he
Allegedly.
is treating the his employees very poorly. That has been proven.
Oh yeah, yeah. But this isn't the name of this podcast isn't let's trash on Logan Paul. We can
No, no.
that can literally be the next podcast. But this podcast is called We Need to Talk About America. I think we talked everything about it. The thing is, I didn't really get. I don't I don't know. Like the whole thing of like the idea of people uh, everybody
Look,
having
what
guns.
people
Everybody
what people
having
really need to
guns.
start doing is people need to start thinking for themselves. People need to stop going out and hear something and be like, "Oh yeah, this person's such a piece of shit." There's always two sides of the story. There's always two sides of the story. And yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, anyway, back to the topic we were talking about.
The main topic of
Um,
the podcast.
the main topic of the podcast
School shootings. Oh no, not mass
was the
shootings. It's not
mass
even school shootings
shootings.
anymore. So we started with school
Not even.
shootings
We
in
started at
America.
school shootings,
Then
which
it
is
turned to
bad enough
mass.
in
Yeah,
itself.
bad enough because it's kids. We're talking about kids here. Then it turned to
Yeah.
mass shootings, and
Then it
then
turned to mass shootings.
and it's like we're at that point now. And then that this is what kind of makes me that what kind of gives me like I don't know what kind of scares me. That's like okay, so it was school shootings first, then was mass shootings. What's next? What can be worse than all this shit? Because you know there's gonna be
And
worse. There's gonna
and
be worse.
here's the thing. Here's the thing that you just realized. Nothing is going to be done until a politician gets injured.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Oh
Nothing is
man.
going to be done until a politician gets injured.
No, and that's the thing. It's like I don't condone. Like I'm a we're pacifists here. Like we don't condone any violence. But it's kind of funny. That's like oh all this violence against like minorities and against all these people. But yet there's I don't remember any violence. At least open violence or open threats to Trump or to any of like him and his administration.
No, there
I
has been.
It
There
has.
has been open. Yeah, there has been open threats to Trump.
Which one? I haven't. This is like news to me. Is
It,
it the?
there was
Is
one legit in the first week he was elected president. It was
really?
he was like, yeah, he was like, uh, I'm gonna go with a rifle to his rally, and because of that, they had like 30, 40 snipers in the buildings looking
Oh,
at everybody and everything.
I
Yeah, they
mean,
had it.
yeah,
They beefed up security a lot that day.
yeah.
They were
That
even
makes
thinking of
sense.
canceling it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm not saying, and I didn't say that to like say like, oh, we should kill Trump. Like, no. I
No.
genuinely feel like if he would be assassinated though, like it wouldn't make a difference. Like it wouldn't make a change. Like it wouldn't make a change for the better. It would actually make things worse. Because then it would make America like a fucking shit show. It would make it America a laughing stock, a shit show. Like we don't know what's going on. Like everybody would be lost. Everybody would be terrified. Everybody would
And
not know what the fuck to do.
I know this is a dead joke now, but like I've honestly started considering moving to Canada. I know a lot of
I
people
know,
say that as a
yeah.
joke, but
People said that in the
maybe
beginning of his election of
people
his
did say that. But, you know, I'm honestly thinking of moving to Canada. Like, not like, oh, I'm leaving this shit show. No, 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 no. This is a genuine, this
Genuine
is a
thought.
genuine thought. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you.
Because,
I I
yeah, because
I
like,
genuinely don't blame you. Because it's getting to a point that's like it's scary.
it's getting to a
It's
point where it's
scary.
starting
It's
to get
scary. I don't
scary.
know
And
if
I don't want
yeah.
my kids growing up in a place where they have to go to school and focus more on
Not getting
focus more
shot.
on not getting shot. They're starting to do
Oh
school
yeah,
shooter
yeah,
drills. They're
yeah. We
starting to
did,
do
we did.
school
Okay,
shooter
so
drills.
real story. In our school, we started doing school shooting and
Yeah, school
lockdowns.
shooter drills.
School shooter drills, literally in our school. This year that just passed, like we genuinely started that, and that was not a thing. That was not a thing in freshman year.
That was not
That
a
was
thing in freshman
not
year.
a thing, at least in LA. We're
That
we're
was not a
based in
thing in
LA.
freshman. That was not a thing in sophomore. That was not a thing in no.
Junior.
That started in junior year. Yeah.
That started in junior year. Like literally, like it was, and it's scary because people were like, like friends of mine were like, "Why are we doing this and that?" And we would see the news, and it'd be obvious of why we were doing this. And till that point, like we thought. The sad thing is like, oh, okay, school shooting, mass shooting. All right, this can't happen again. Like this was such a horrible thing. This was such a horrific thing. It's impossible for this to happen again. It happened hundreds of times more than of us practicing those drills. It, I don't know. It's getting to a point that it seems like it's only going to get worse. Then it's going to get worse
It
before
really
it gets
is.
better. That's
It
what
really
it's really
is.
starting to look like. I genuinely hope it doesn't. I hope it gets better, but realistically, as an American, I don't know. This is yeah, this is the first time in America where stuff like this has happened, and like it's it. Would you compare this to like 9/11? Like, would you compare like the 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 impact of like people in America, uh, like the fear, like would you compare it to 9/11? Because I feel like I would, because there's people out there that are terrified of going outside, of their letting their
Yeah.
kids. I guarantee you that there's going to be a lot of like the year 2020, and I'm predicting this right now in this podcast. I'm predicting this right now. In the year 2020, even year 2021, the rates of school of the rates of homeschooling is going to go up.
Oof. Yes.
I
And
I I
that's not, and that's a bad thing for multiple reasons. Homeschooling is very bad for the students and and for the community because students don't learn very valuable communication skills, which is
oh
very
yeah,
important
yeah.
for their future.
Yeah, yeah, that's what they lack. There's pros and cons to
There's
to
pros
to
and cons.
home to homeschooling, but uh, I don't know. There's mostly cons. I don't know. I have friends who are school homeschooled, and they came out okay, but they do have communications. Like they have a lack of communication skills.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's see.
Okay. Sorry. We were. I was. I was texting. Um, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about America. But okay, so we've talked about the problem, but let's talk about solutions.
Solutions. That's the thing, though. Solutions are not as easy as they sound. It's
Yeah,
not just like,
and
oh, we need to fix this, and it gets fixed. Like,
we've been saying that for
so
years.
if we start going into gun control, what the problem that's gonna cause is that people who genuinely are looking for something to defend themselves, like they won't be able to they won't be able to actually defend themselves. There was this man who bought a revolver. He bought one revolver to hide in every single room of his house. And people thought he was crazy until people broke in with until people broke into his house. And I'm not shitting you, his bathroom revolver came in handy, and he put a picture of it. It's literally an orange box glued or drilled into the wall with a revolver sitting in there and with a couple rounds. And people thought he was crazy until a situation like that actually happened.
And that,
And
yeah,
if you think like that, then he was a responsible adult who used it for actual self-defense. Oh no, self-defense. Then we gotta go into self-defense. This whole
do we have
ah,
time? Do we have time to go fucking self defense? I'm trying to make these not. I'm trying to make these like at least an hour. No, I'm not longer.
all right then.
Um,
Self-defense for next time.
let's.
Self-defense and sexism for next time.
It's sexism. Okay, well
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
gonna be
that's
a
next
rougho
time.
topico.
Yeah.
Uh, but that's all the time we have for today. Um, any last words for America and for the situation happening right now?
Well, for our viewers, mm, we need to come up with an outro.
Yeah, no, but I
uh,
like actual like genuine like words of how do you feel? Let's add to this. How do you feel as an American right now to live in a country that mass shootings is a norm?
what was the word for it? I feel ashamed.
Really?
Yeah,
Damn.
being associated with a country known for killing its own citizens, and it's not even the government; it's the citizens doing to the other citizens.
Yeah. There's not a lot of control then. There's lack of
Yeah.
control. My last words is um like I said, and like I've said many times throughout this podcast, I'm scared, but I don't know if this is gonna get better. I don't know if this is gonna get worse. But what I do know is us as a country need to unite and get and make a change. And I feel like I feel like the youth can make that change, but we need to actually want to do it.
Hmm.
And that that concludes our podcast, episode 2. Uh, thank you thank you when I edit this or whatever. Thank you for watching. God bless. God bless everyone. Thank you for whoever edited this one. And whoever like my condolences to the parents and friends of the victims of the 2 mass shootings. We are praying for you and stay safe out there. we're living in a very scary time. Stay safe. All right. Peace.